Speedbird 851, turn right heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
Hi everyone, welcome to DJ's Aviation. So why does Emirates reject the A380 Plus? This was quite a common question in a video I made around a week or two ago, so I thought I would use this video today to answer that question. The A380 Plus is the new A380 and was revealed to the public last year by Airbus at the 2017 Paris Air Show. With still no firm orders, the future of the aircraft is currently in doubt, but the biggest customer of the current A380 series chose not to order it and instead went for the current A380. The airline has also expressed their rejection of the A380 Plus concept to Airbus. Why was this? I'll begin with a look at what the A380 Plus is. However, if you already know what the A380 Plus is, then I will be leaving a timestamp on the screen now to get you to the real in-depth analysis part of the video. The A380 Plus is the new and improved A380. It'll maintain the A380's unique comfort levels, have new larger winglets which will provide up to 4% fuel burning savings, and have a 13% cost reduction per seat versus the current A380. These key points were provided by Airbus. John Leahy, who is the Airbus COO, said, "The A380 Plus is an efficient way to offer even better economics and improved operational performance at the same time," adding, "It is a new step for our iconic aircraft to best serve worldwide fast-growing traffic and the evolving needs of the A380 customers. The A380 is well proven as the solution to increasing congestion at large airports, and is offering a unique passenger-preferred experience. The new winglets set to feature on the A380 Plus do truly bring a new look to the A380 series, and I personally quite like them. The A380 Plus will also be able to carry a further 80 passengers because of the new increased maximum takeoff weight of 578 tons. Some of the new key features include the new forward stair location, which will allow for more passengers, the combined crew rest compartment, which again will allow for further passengers to board and be seated on the aircraft, the new 11 abreast economy on the main deck, which means the configuration will be 353, that's instead of the current 343, which in my opinion allows for a very spacious economy, and it will also have a host of new and other improvements. We begin the real analysis with a quote given by the Emirates president Tim Clark. He said in regards to the A380 Plus the following: "We would rather they just offered us the continuation of the line," adding, "I've never been a big fan of the A380 Plus. The problem with the A380 Plus is the aircraft has a number of key changes that are listed earlier, and these changes that are being made aren't to Emirates' liking. For example, there's the forward staircase, which is noted to be large and will be removed in that area. There will be also that 11 abreast economy cabin, and Emirates really doesn't like any of these. Another key thing Emirates wants done is actually a re-engine of the current Airbus A380, and this is a prerequisite for them to complete a new order for this aircraft. Airbus are also clearly aware that Emirates want to commit to even more A380s in the future, but Emirates want a retrofit option. Airbus wants a new option. This is where the split has occurred between the two. Tim Clark has already openly said many times that he has a huge interest in the program, simply stating that we would be interested in anything they could do because of their already large amount of orders. While this doesn't relate to the A380 Plus, Tim Clark noted in 2017 he is mildly concerned with the A380 program's lack of production and the cuts to the rates of production. He said if Airbus can make it work on 6 deliveries a year, well, that's up to them. I don't know how it does that, but there you are. The trick is to try and persuade others to buy it. However, it's worth noting, Clark was concerned that Airbus were only pushing the A380 Plus to try and attract new customers, whether that be from Japan, China, Australia, and so on. Clark likes to see himself nowadays as the king of the A380s, and with his airline having such a large order and already operating so many, he would have probably been inclined to think that Airbus may have taken what their suggestions were on board and simply implemented those in the new A380 Plus. I mentioned before the idea of retrofitting, and this being something Clark wants. In fact, Airbus were eyeing the possibility of putting a new winglet on the A380, and that's the current version. This would enhance performance, as noted by Airbus themselves, but they actually never acted on this, and that's the key. Clark said, if I put those winglets on our current fleet and they were to improve the performance by 4%, then would bite their arms off. So this is another scenario where we see Emirates try to put forward a suggestion, but Airbus go with something else, or don't eventually implement that suggestion. This could be looked at in a positive way, or potentially a negative way, and there's no real right or wrong way about it, because we just don't know, and Airbus are the ones who make these decisions. The next thing again relates to the A380s which are currently in operation. The orders placed by Emirates have ensured that the current program, even with that lowered production rate, will actually continue for years to come and even go into the next decade. And I'll add, Clark noted that it would comfortably reach the next decade and go well into it. This would only come though if Airbus listens to what Emirates wants and delivered the aircraft at a rate that allowed it to continue year after year and not, let's say, deliver 20 in a single year. Obviously, this isn't what Airbus wants, because as you can probably tell from this video so far, Airbus just want to push their A380 Plus on new customers and Emirates. While they are happy with their current A380, that isn't going to be their focus anymore, and this very, very large order from Emirates isn't helping their case at all. For all this video, I've been mentioning that Emirates love the A380 and would want to commit to more. After all, Emirates were the ones who did essentially push Airbus to launch a new A380 with enhanced performance, and when Airbus finally did, they changed features that Emirates didn't want or didn't need changing. And in the end, there was no order from Emirates or actual interest. Why else hasn't an order come for the A380 Plus though? Emirates want to know that the demand for the A380 will continue to grow. This is being shown through Airbus's trade trip to Asia, where they tried to receive new orders from Chinese carriers. Unfortunately for the A380 program, that was unsuccessful, but the Asian carriers did place an order for the Airbus A320neo, and quite a sizable one to say the least. While Emirates do really like the program on a whole, they don't believe in being the sole operator of this new aircraft. With the changing trends in the aviation industry and more airlines operating, let's say, the A321neo series for middle-of-the-market flights, and also the 777X series, the A350 series, and the 787 series, the need for an Airbus A380, while certainly there in terms of like the passenger numbers, isn't a favourable option for carriers. The increased performance of the Plus version might just be the thing that gets carriers in the door and brings the program back to life. But the price is still going to be a huge issue, with, for example, British Airways deciding only to not order further A380s because of that price. It is something Airbus will need to work on if they want to secure more orders, because at the end of the day, there is plenty of demand for large aircraft, because after all, the congestion is huge at so many major airports, but the price is something that is really going to impact customers, because let's say you're a startup airline looking to buy your very first aircraft. While some may go for something like the 777X, like Starlux, some carriers won't be able to afford something like that, and having the A380 at such a high price makes it unachievable for, let's say, not as developed airlines. This is where something like the A330neo, the 737 MAX can be more of interest to carriers. So ultimately there are a fair few reasons as to why Emirates hasn't and doesn't want to order the Airbus A380 Plus. This includes the love for the current A380 series, Airbus not listening to the carrier when it came to new features, the idea that Airbus could just make a retrofit option on the current A380 and give it the performance enhancements seen on the current A380 Plus, while not necessarily changing the cabin interior and more. I would now like to give my thoughts on the Airbus A380 Plus and Emirates. Honestly, I believe the A380 Plus is a good aircraft. As I listed earlier on in the video, there are heaps of new specifications, new details to the aircraft that really make it a fantastic option for carriers. but it's just the industry trends which are really putting the aircraft off, and also putting airlines off. As I mentioned just before, so many more airlines are opting for, let's say, the 777X or the A350 because they believe that is the future. If you take a look at the future of Emirates, they have the 777X and the 787-10s on order. Now, of course, these still aren't the size of the A380, and Tim Clark has in fact noted that nothing will be able to replace the A380 within their fleet. Airbus needs to pitch this A380 Plus absolutely perfectly to attract orders from carriers. And also, they may just want to look at changing up the A380 Plus for Emirates just to secure, let's say, 50, 60, 70, maybe even 18 orders from Emirates, and hopefully Airbus will then see other carriers follow. As we know, Qatar and Etihad also operate the A380. They also have the 777X on order, and so do Emirates. So a lot of airlines within the industry are closely monitoring Emirates' progress. So if a carrier that big does go out and order the aircraft, you probably would likely see some airlines follow. I do hope you all enjoyed this video of mine, and if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed it, a like would be very much appreciated. I'd like to thank you very much for watching this video of mine, and I do appreciate all your support and look forward to you all joining me in the next one.
Race all of these broken dreams in flight, and we'll fly.